This is the story of men and women who are constantly working for you to make your life faster and yet safer. This is the story of your city. This is the story of Kolkata Traffic Police. The story goes back to a time beyond 300 years. East India Company had acquired an order to purchase the zamindari rights from the then zamindar, Shabarno Roy Chaudhary. They acquired 3 adjoining villages, Shutanuti, Gobindapur and Kolkata. A conglomerate. Soon the British started calling it Calcutta. Its ideal geographical location and a vast hinterland afforded it a great opportunity for trade and commerce. Calcutta became the center of power for the next few centuries. By 1735, Calcutta had a well-developed port and could boast a population of over 1 lakh. Job Chanak, representing the East India Company, was instrumental in setting up a watch and ward unit for the growing city. This formation of the unit in 1704 laid the foundation of a police system in the city. The force then comprised a head peon, who was later named Kotwal, 45 peons, 2 chubdars, and 20 gwalas. The Kotwals and the peons, later designated pikes, were soon armed with staves and spears. Much like today's traffic police who find the erring drivers, the force was empowered to levy fines on natives for misconduct. After the fateful Battle of Plassey, English traders turned into the masters of Bengal. This turning point in history had no positive effect on the police force. Only black zamindars were appointed by the British to exercise petty police functions. The socio-political environment of the city did not call for much police intervention till East India Company was conferred the Diwani in 1765. The arrival of Warren Hastings in Calcutta saw a sea of change. The force got its first superintendent when Alexander McCraby was appointed in 1774, although his tenure was not for long. During the formative years of the city, the role of the police was to ensure law and order. With time, population swelled. The city expanded and more roads and lanes were formed. Need for speedier movements saw a phenomenal rise in the number of hackney carriages. Even with a large number of hackney carriages, palanquins still ruled the roads. In 1827, a peculiar incident occurred. Over 4,000 palanquin bearers came together and called a strike. This was a turning point in the history of the police, as the strike led to the creation of a separate division for road traffic management. In 1857, after the First War of Independence, India came under the direct rule of the Crown. The Industrial Revolution in England had a far-reaching effect on Calcutta. Soon enough, Bengal Renaissance changed the socio-cultural and political scene of the city too. The city grew unabated, and so did its traffic. In 1874, a band of 17 men took charge of the roads to implement rules on traffic. A map published around this period shows connections between the city and important towns such as Agra, Banaras and Murshidabad. A city with its myriad modes of transport needed to bring about traffic discipline. Every hackney carriage in the city was forced to register. A road rule was introduced in 1862 to move vehicles to the left side of the road. February 1873 saw the first horse-drawn tram between Sialda and Armenian Ghat. But for a short span of time, the failure of the horse-drawn tram encouraged the city's fathers to hasten the introduction of electric power-driven tram from Esplanade to Khidrpur in 1902, adding on another mode of transport for the citizens. The first motor car was imported in 1896, adding yet one more mode of transport to manage for the police. Even after the transfer of the British capital to Delhi in 1911, the city continued to grow. It remained a melting point for trade and industry, intellectuals and educationists and politicians, to say the least. By 1874, the road users of the city witnessed uniformed traffic policemen directing the traffic, standing at the center of important intersections. Soon these men with bright red turbans in dazzling white uniform became iconic figures for the most important city of the British Empire. The period between the two world wars saw dramatic changes on the roads of Calcutta. By 1920, regular motor bus services were started. Along with private motor cars owned by the rich and famous came fleets of taxis driven mostly by turbaned Sikhs, all together adding more chaos on the road. Thanks to the foresight of the men at the iconic Lal Bazaar headquarters, constant and effective measures helped the city move. The city witnessed historical events and activities in the next few decades. This made traffic police face the most daunting and challenging tasks of all. Understanding the immediate need of road users, keeping in mind speed and safety aspects, the men at Lal Bazaar summoned experts from Scotland Yard. In and around 1926, Inspector Edward, along with few officers of the Scotland Yard Traffic Division, arrived in Calcutta. They put forward a few suggestions, which were soon implemented. The rules and regulations had far-reaching effects in making the city roads safer and movement faster. It is indeed a matter of great pride that as the years passed, the city traffic police force responded to the needs of time. The city, which went through several social, political, as well as economic turmoil, demanded extraordinary skills in traffic management. The challenges were many and diverse. A city that kept growing today has the lowest land and road surface ratio. A vast, ever-growing suburban population adding more than 40% pedestrian traffic during the day. Diverse modes of transport unique to this city. A strong wind of change that swept across the state in the early second decade of this century also had its cascading effect on the traffic management of the city. A burgeoning population, rapid increase in vehicle density, with infrastructure constraints in terms of road-to-land ratio, needed immediate attention. The power of IT was soon put to use, which resulted in networked signaling, adding reliability, security, speed, as well as scalability to integrate with other services. Men at the helm of affairs invested in training and honing of skills which were required to provide road users safety and ease of travel equal to any modern city. A state-of-the-art training school with all modern facilities today turns out officers who are ready to take on the daunting challenges which only this city faces. A modern traffic control room that provides information or transmits decisions of control at the click of a mouse has made the city's notorious traffic jam a thing of the past. Real-time speed feedback for drivers, network signaling system with central control and command. Gone are the days of challans and arguments with traffic violators. Equipped with over 1,500 body cameras, the men on the road are adding to public trust and eliminating time-consuming archaic systems. The vision of providing road users a world-class experience of safety and speed is not merely in words. A dramatic drop in fatal accidents is a living testimony to the commitment of our Kolkata Traffic Police Force. Today, Kolkata Traffic Police, a force with more than 4,000 men and women built over the centuries, understands the ongoing needs and expectations of its road users. Kolkata Traffic Police solemnly pledges to make commuting on Kolkata roads a world-class experience. And so, the story goes on as we relentlessly strive to honor the resolve, safe drive, save life.